G'day, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us. Very much appreciate you signing on this Friday evening, Friday morning, Thursday evening, wherever you happen to be. Um, and it's Dave Mack and Coach Stephen with you. How you doing, Coach Stephen?
I'm doing very well, thank you. It's nice to see you, and you always make me laugh before we come on. We were reminiscing about eating bran flakes, and, fruit and
Yeah.
fiber, we called it. Oh, wow.
Yeah, so just to talk about that little story that I was sharing before we came on, when I was in my early 20s, I worked overseas for about 3.5 years. And I decided two things when I came back to Australia after those 3.5 years. And one was you're going to save money, and two was you're going to get healthy because my diet had been alcohol pretty much while I was overseas. And so my healthy breakfast was sultana bran or raisin bran, if people know that, a glass of orange juice, toast with Vegemite, and what was the other thing? A banana.
Mm.
Yeah. So needless to say, I didn't get healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've got Sweden in. How you doing? Ricard, nice to see you. Okay. And Nudia, how you doing? Yeah, it's great
Urea,
to see
yeah.
you here.
Mm.
Yeah. So as you come in, guys, please say hello. Let us know where you're coming in from. Um, so have you had any big projects on this week, Coach Seven?
Well, I was on Judy Cho's show, and that's been released. I
Cool.
did a thing with Sean Baker yesterday. That'll be released next week. Written a couple of Substacks. One that I found quite frustrating was the BBC. Apparently, I don't watch the BBC anymore, but many people told me that there's like a spring watch and a bird watch program and a nature program, and that one of these programs was saying that we shouldn't be feeding birds. So it's terrible to put your bird feeders out. It's really not good for them. It's not natural and all this sort of stuff. And although it's not natural thing is sort of true, neither is monocropping, neither is putting loads of plants under plastic, neither is ripping up habitats to grow these plants and the veg and all that sort of stuff and ruining the birds' habitats. No mention of this. No,
Right.
your lovely old nan who loves feeding the birds. Yeah, she's the problem. And this is the constant theme that is, not making me very happy about where I live, because there's literally there's no joined up thinking. And they seem to be picking on just normal average people doing nice things for animals and dressing it up as a terrible thing. But I can assure you, birds are struggling more with the way that we now monocrop and the way we grow plants and the pesticides and the herbicides and getting rid of the insects and getting rid of the bushes and the hedgerows and all that sort of thing. Sorry to get all political as soon as we start, but so a Substack will come out next week looking at the fact that they are just it's another thing where a simple joy is being taken away, and it's deflecting from what they really should be talking about, which is how they are killing insects, for instance, and even good pollinators. It's frightening what the herbicides and the pesticides do. It's terrible.
Yeah. I find that kind of thing, whether it's politicians or the media or whatever, the whole thing is always we don't care about it unless it works in our favor at any given moment, you know?
Mm,
So like
yeah.
a year from now, they will totally care about the birds' habitats for some reason, you
Mm,
know? Like they'll completely change. It won't be about not feeding them or whatever or making bird feeders, right?
mm,
It's just they blow with the wind whichever way things are going. But
exactly.
speaking of news, I this week's been one of those kind of weeks where I've not had much time to actually watch any videos, but I have seen a couple of videos talking about another one of these carnivores not being really carnivore anymore. So did you see Michaela Peterson is like made a video saying something like she's adding a little bit of carb into her diet, and now everyone's melting down because it's like, she's leaving too.
Well, yeah, I mean, I look at it completely differently. She's a brilliant example of just how good carnivore can be, but how deeply injured some people are. It took her 8 years to get to the point where her body has healed enough for her to try some other food that isn't a ruminant animal. Well, to me, that's a shining example of why carnivore is good. I totally get. I mean, she's had years and years of pain and agony, and if she wants to add some carbs back because she's missed those, then more power to her elbow. I don't really see. She's still going to be predominantly meat based.
Right.
We also know that meat cured her. And that's a fact. I mean, that is a fact. And if she can now eat those foods and not get the problems, then that's good. I don't wish ill on anybody. I just want people to have a really good life. But I don't see it like that. I don't see it as a big hurrah, because, in fact, those people that are saying hurrah are saying, well, 8 years of carnivore healed her. That's how badly her body was damaged from not being carnivore. So carnivore works. Thanks very much. We'll take that as a win, personally.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
And they do have a meltdown, and it's ridiculous, isn't it? Because what's there to celebrate? Well, the celebration is that carnivore fixed her.
Right.
It's not the fact she's now going to whatever she wants to eat. It's none of that.
Yeah.
None of that whatsoever.
Yeah. It wasn't cornflakes that was responsible for it.
Yeah. It wasn't bran flakes, a sultana bran, a banana, Vegemite. Ruminant animals. I must admit, I mean, if you take it a bit broadly, it is a bit like an alcoholic going back to alcohol. The thing that got them in the situation in the first place, that I find a bit odd. So anyone going back, and I include her in this, I think is still a risk. She's going to see how she goes, but it could put her back. I don't want it to be honest, but it could do.
I have kind of tended to look at it like this. Like, if it was me, I wouldn't be doing what she's doing. I wouldn't be putting anything back. But that's because I know myself, and I know that, like, as soon as I put something back, then it's all going back. Like, there's no moderation of anything for me. But she might be more of a moderator, and
exactly.
yeah.
And she's not really a carnivore influencer as such, is she? She doesn't have a carnivore podcast.
That's right.
She has a health journey podcast. So
yeah. She's just been sharing her story, and like Lorraine talks about here. Bart had a live stream today. I didn't see the live stream, but I caught the video afterwards. Bart said she's only been telling her own story, not trying to influence others. So really, she can do what she wants. Yeah, agreed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's helpful because if people are being told by mainstream medicine, there's no cure for these pains that you're suffering, or your joint pains or inflammation, she's proving that to be wrong. So more, it's just, I can't see the downside to it, to be honest. She looks great. She speaks well. She can add these things back in, and if she does, then it's still a testament to what carnivore did, how carnivore healed her.
Yeah. And she doesn't strike me as the kind of person that lacks a lot of self-awareness and self-control. Like, so she's not going to be like upside down under the McDonald's soft serve machine next week or something, No,
I don't think so.
That would be me if I added anything back, but yeah.
Yes, that's the thing. Yes.
Yeah. So, we got Francis in the house. How you doing?
Bonjour.
Thanks for joining us.
Je m'appelle Stephen.
And Aid is here. Thanks for joining, Aid. Superior metabolic health to you too.
Yes. Yeah, a lot of people from all over the world. Yes. Which reminds me of Tony Hancock, actually, because he was a comedian that was mainly on the radio, did a few bits on TV. And he had a radio. He was a radio ham one night. Just him. The whole half hour was just him. And he was on the radio to all these people around the world. He went, "I've got friends all over the world. None here, but all over the world."
That's awesome. Yeah.
I've got my fatty latte here. My fatty latte.
Oh, nice. I've got my sparkling water.
Is it mineral water?
Yeah.
Is it in a glass bottle?
No, it's just supermarket crap. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's something like you, Dave.
I have to start buying something like Gerolsteiner or something like that, or but I've got to travel into the city to get something like that. The local supermarket has the bare bones.
No, right.
Yeah. So regarding mentioned Bart's live stream today, I don't know if you saw it, but he went over 11 things that if you hear carnivore influencers saying this, immediately kind of unsubscribe and say bye-bye to them or whatever. And I can't remember all, but one of the last ones was if people are talking about, how calories matter or something like that. And I was like,
yes.
I kind of zeroed in on that one because that's one of my pet peeves as well. It's the calories thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think I suppose one would be adding carbs back in or justifying carbs.
Oh, yeah, that was one of them. Yeah. That was one of them.
Because that's a hot topic at the moment. Let me have a think of what else.
And fiber. You need fiber.
Fiber. LDL, I would imagine, would be in there.
Yeah,
lipids
that was
causing
in
heart
there.
disease, I would imagine.
Vitamin C.
But yes, vitamin C. Fiber. Oh, I think that's pretty much all of them, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway,
there was 11. I can't remember. But yeah. But the calories one is just like, because I was just, it just, it's just one of those things that I feel like when you think about how a calorie is measured,
yes,
it's like how you can't take that and like replicate that in someone's body. So how it's measured, like a calorie is irrelevant, basically.
Yeah.
And
if you take a liter of water and you heat it up by 1 degree centigrade and you measure the energy, that's what a calorie is.
Yeah.
It's taking a sample of food, putting it in a bomb calorimeter, combusting it until it's just, completely gone. Look at the temperature, and we work out that 1 liter of water going up 1 degree centigrade. So you could get a kettle, and I've done this, and you can boil up a kettle. You can weigh the water firsthand. Now, if it was a closed system, this would be perfect, but you can pretty much do it to get an approximation of what we're talking about. You boil that kettle up to boiling from room temperature. You're putting in about 80 calories. It doesn't weigh any different. And then you can leave it to cool, and you can take out 80 calories, and it doesn't weigh any different. So, it's a measure of heat energy. That's it. It's really that simple. It's nothing to do with biochemistry. It's obviously.
So, the most frustrating thing when you're arguing with kind of a calories in, calories out proponent is like when you put a simple argument to them. You say, okay, so you're telling me that 100 calories of lettuce versus 100 calories of steak versus 100 calories of chocolate all act the same way in your body.
Exactly.
And then they go, oh no, well, I don't mean that. That's a silly comparison. And it's like, well, you can't have it both ways. You're moving the goalposts to win the argument now.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. So sorry, that calories gets me really head up.
I can tell.
Yeah. So we've got a couple of questions. The first one is from Tanya, Urgent
Tell me.
advice. I previously said on 2.5 Monjaro and Carnivore, did 64-hour fast, blood sugar down to 3.1 UK, have struggled to get above 3.2 to 3.8 unless I eat an apple or potato. Should I stop the jab?
Yes. Well, right. Okay. Based on that information, this is not medical advice. This is just factual advice. If you're worried about your blood glucose being low, what does the jab do? Well, it lowers your blood glucose production. So why are you doing it? That's the common sense answer. Sorry. Carnivore already lowers your blood glucose. So you're now taking something that's going to lower it even more, and you have to hack it back up by eating an apple or potato. So you're taking with one hand and giving with another. It's not actually a good idea to do it. The jab is, let's look at it in a positive way. It's being too good. It's doing its job too well. All right. So yeah, you probably don't need it. And you'll have no side effects from not having it.
Except enjoying not eating potatoes.
yeah.
Okay, from Lorraine. Oh, whoops, that was the comment I put up before. So from Tanya, I asked the question just before you went live. Really needs your advice. Oh, yeah. Okay, so we answered that, or Coach Stephen answered that one. Nuria, vitamin D studies show that no one's is low in both the storage form and the active form. People that are low in the storage form are sky high in the active form. Should we test for the active form?
She's got a follow-up. She's got a follow-up.
Okay, and the follow-up, to really know if we need to supplement with vitamin D. So what is the point of testing the storage form?
Well, firstly, what is the point of testing? Let's go broadly about everything. You should test if you feel there's something up. You're feeling sluggish, you have brain fog, you have aches and pains that you don't really understand. So testing for vitamin D, where do these normative ranges come from? How do we know they're optimal? Nuria, I think, is fantastic, by the way. She's a big supporter of what we do, and it's great. But there's so much nuance to it. Who's to say, one figure is good for one person, so therefore it's good for every person? So I think in the bottom line is, if people are guessing, then it's best to test. And we do test the storage form, which is 25 OHD, and that's routinely what we measure. But we all know that the active form, which is regulated by the kidneys, it's not very good. It's not very nuanced testing, to be honest. So I don't know if you're suspecting that you have a kidney disease, or you feel that you have a vitamin D toxicity for some reason. There's not enough really for me to answer, because it's very fluid. And I've tested, and I've done this, and I've done experiments where my natural vitamin D. I mean, I've got a guy in Arizona who's he's out in this. It's a desert there, and he's got very low vitamin D. And then I'm here in England, and I can get my vitamin D up really high when I supplement. And the apparent really good way to get it up is, pardon me, that's what she said. But the very good way to get it up is things like cod liver oil. Well, that didn't really work for me. The fermented cod liver oil didn't actually do anything, but a supplement did. But did I feel any different? I had doubled my vitamin D in the readings, but I didn't feel anything. I didn't feel any different. So I do take vitamin D, because I feel it's one of those things, vitamin D3, by the way, that in England and sitting in front of the screen all the time, I probably should do, mainly for my immune function. But I think this is something I will cover in my Substack a little bit more, because if you have a low storage number, and I think this is where she's getting at, the body upregulates conversion. So it always makes the active form, even if your storage is low. So when you look at when you look at what the body does, that's actually more important. And this is the biggest thing I'm always saying. It tests what is in the blood, not what's in the tissue. And there are many people, and there are people that I respect, who feel any form of supplementation is not good because there's lots of checks and balances that the body does when you naturally produce it, via sunlight or even some foods that you eat. So I think the knowledge on vitamin D is very sketchy. I still think that. And the more I look into it, the more I think, I'm sort of agnostic about it. I obviously taken a supplement because I feel there's probably more to higher levels of vitamin D than having low levels. But you also then get into, early morning sunlight, for instance. Is it the vitamin D or is it the increase in nitric oxide? So, yes, it's not a simple yes or no answer. Sorry, Nuria. Sorry.
Thank you for your question. Okay, and on vitamin D, does vitamin D affect libido?
I've not really seen any studies on this. Obviously, this is coming from a place where it's normally associated with immune function, isn't it? But I'd have to actually research that because I can't remember seeing anything convincing about whether it helps or not, actually. Sorry to be vague. Can't answer everything. But like I say, vitamin D is one of those things that I feel is a little bit... I still feel it's very sketchy. I agree with most people that it does seem to be beneficial to supplement with it if you're in an area where you're not or you're in a situation where you're not getting much natural sunlight. But anyway, sorry to be rubbish, but there you go. I can't answer everything.
So, Ricard, so how much energy for the body does a gram of fat have compared to a gram of carbs? Is this in relation to the calories discussion before?
Yeah, I think it is actually.
There's more calorie in fat, right? But there's more calories in fat, but that's only because
per gram,
of the way it works in the bomb calorimeter, right?
Well, not so much that. I mean, it's pretty nailed on that you glean more energy from fat than you do from carbohydrates. So for a gram of fat, if we're going to get into the calorie argument, we can, because we're talking about what the bomb calorimeter said. So a gram of fat will give you about 9 kilocalories, and a gram of carb will give you 4. So the biggest example of this and how it works, and literally I wrote about this a couple of weeks ago, the Antarctic explorer Randle and Dr. Mike Stroud, who's a British GP, they crossed Antarctica and they were unaided. They didn't have outside support, and they decided to eat mainly fat. And the reason was because it would be lighter to get the same amount of calories, in inverted commas. All right. So we don't believe in calories, but people understand it. So their sled, pound for pound, would have been twice as heavy for the nutrition if they decided to get their energy from carbohydrates. So you're getting more bang for your buck. And this is actually another reason why calories falls down, because if you're talking about the mass, so if I've got a meal in front of me and it weighs a kilogram and I eat that kilogram of mass, I will add a kilogram to my body weight. It has to, because it's mass that I'm adding in. If I have a meal that's half that, half a kilogram, but gives me the same amount of calories, in inverted commas, I will only add half a kilogram. I mean, that's just a fact, because it's that amount of mass I'm adding. So anyway, they did this, by the way, they did this walk across Antarctica using fat as their fuel, and their blood glucose, talking about that Monjaro thing, was as low as 18 milligrams per deciliter. So it was 1 millimole per liter, which is severely hypoglycemic, allegedly. But they were in such deep ketosis, they were able to cross Antarctica. So were they hypoglycemic? No. They just had low blood sugar because they were fat fueled. So simple, really. So the questions you got there, I mean, so yeah, I'm reading down. Sorry, you did it in out of order. Sorry. Yes. So that's it. Yeah. So that's basically it. Hopefully that made some sense.
Okay, so let me just kind of go down to something that's more. Okay, so firstly, g'day, Jonathan. How are you doing? Hey, Dean. How are you? Okay, so regarding vitamin D, sardines help. Mine is much better. And this was libido. So
yes.
sardines really work for my libido. I don't take any HRT. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, let's just. Can we have an update on how Rupert is doing, Coach Stephen?
Yes, he's fit as a butcher's dog, as they say, which is how he is. He's bouncy, trouncy, fun. He's always, he's just brilliant. He's just full of energy, and his tail looks almost back to normal. It is shorter. One thing I think is really interesting is that his balance and coordination, all that, he's got to relearn, because they use their tail, don't they, for all their agility and running around. And so he's a little bit clumsy at the moment, but that will go. He's getting more athletic again. So yeah, he's a joy to behold. He's just wonderful, really. More resilient than me. I still struggle a little bit with what happened, but yeah, I'm trying to include him in reels more so people can see. He's good with other dogs. He always gets excited when we go out. He goes for long walks. Noises don't upset him. He's just, he's brilliant. He's brilliant.
Awesome. That's awesome news. So from Artsies, are there any studies of women who consume raw dairy showing improved menstrual cycle and period cramps?
Yes. Yeah, there are studies. And this is the thing that I find interesting, because we're talking about studies rather than anecdotes. So I don't see a big difference in people that I consult with. Some try it and it doesn't work, and some try it and they think it's better. So so studies do show that, but I'm always dubious of studies, to be honest. But yeah, you've got the beneficial enzymes, you've got all the alleged probiotic effects. So I'd have to go through the studies, but yes, I think there are studies. That's the answer to the question. Improved menstrual cycle and period cramps. Yes. What I would suggest then is, if you try it, come back and report how it went for you, because then we have got some anecdotal evidence.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Okay. What's your opinion on the company Zoe Gut Health Nutrition? Are these a UK company?
I think they started in the UK. Yeah.
Right.
Can I be polite, or should I just say what I think? Right. I'm not a fan at all, to be honest. I think they're very misguided. I think they still promote a lot of fiber. The gut health thing is, in this country with testing, is diabolical. We don't know enough about the gut microbiome to be able to make these confident assertions of what is good and bad bacteria. And don't forget, a lot of bacteria feed off the other bacteria. So there's this great belief that you have to continually feed them. That's not true. Once you've established your gut microbiome, it tends to be self-supporting. If we eat meat, we have animal products, we are giving that gut microbiome what it needs to eat, because they are the prebiotics. The food we eat is the prebiotics. So that would be my first thing. Sorry, I was a little bit sidetracked with Dave getting on the phone. He's probably got a call from Zoe, gut health nutrition people. You can't talk about this. But I had my gut microbiome tested, and I think I mentioned this before. And my good bacteria, good in inverted commas, was apparently ideal, and my bad bacteria was apparently ideal, because there was none. And then, so I got the top score for my good bacteria and top score for my bad bacteria. And then my diet was marked 0 out of 5. So where's the joined up thinking? They can't even do joined up thinking. You know, this is what happened yesterday in the interview with Sean Baker. I used the analogy that, you know, he's got world records for rowing. Well, I can't say that his technique is 0 out of 5 because demonstrably it isn't 0 out of 5 because he's got world records. So how could my gut microbiome, and Zoe does the same sort of algorithm as the lab I used, say that I've got the ideal advanced gut testing results, but my diet is the worst it could be? Doesn't make any sense. And that's the problem. There is no joined up thinking. People don't know enough about it. And even those that say they're experts, the good experts, in inverted commas, about the gut microbiome, admit it's in its infancy. There's more we don't know than we do know. So, you know, I think Mary Ruddock comes to mind. A lot of people promote her as the person when it comes to the gut microbiome. But their claims to optimize gut health, how do they know? How do they know how that is possible? How do they know that's effective? Because we just don't know enough.
I bet you there's a lot of money in that, though.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
which is why they're busy optimizing everyone. But it's right. How do they know?
But they don't.
Yeah,
they absolutely don't.
Yeah. Okay, we've got a question from Aid. Genuine question. In the last 3 months, I have made oxtail stew 3 times, water plus oxtail plus pot plus heat. Each time afterwards, I got a left rotator cuff pain inflammation. Strict carnivore for 3 years.
So the question is, in each time, right? Oh, so I suppose the question is, could it be the oxtail that is promoting the pain? I suppose. Yeah, I mean that is possible, I suppose, when you look at it, because you've got in oxtail you've got collagen, you've got certain fats, haven't you? It could potentially create some inflammation if you are you know, susceptible, or there's something in the oxtail that you don't do well with. So water oxtail. Yeah. I'm trying to think if, well, so it's just in a pot, isn't it? I mean, did you put any seasoning in? Did you put pepper in? Yeah, it's a bit vague as a question, but yes, it's possible. It is absolutely possible that there could be something, or I'd need to know a bit more, really. Do you get the pain at any other time? If you only get the pain and you only consume oxtail stew, and there's no other confounders, no coffee, no other electrolytes, nothing else, then maybe we could say it is the oxtail, but I still wouldn't know what particular thing is in there that's causing that problem.
Yeah.
It's interesting. It's a good question.
Thanks for your question, Ed.
Yeah, it is great, isn't it?
G'day, Joff. How you doing? Good to see you. G'day, Rick. Okay, we got a question from Prunell. On carnivore, the level of glycogen in the liver becomes very low. Is it bad long term?
No.
That was a quick answer.
How do you know it becomes really low? I mean, how do we know that? That's the thing. Again, it's the same sort of thing. What's the ideal level of glycogen? What is the ideal? How do we know what the ideal is? Have carnivores been studied? No, they haven't. So, you know, I think that's one of the things about this sort of question is, firstly, do we really know that? And secondly, is it a bad thing? Well, how do we know? Maybe traveling light is good. I would say the level of glycogen in the liver is the level that is appropriate, to be absolutely honest with you, to be really blunt. You know, we're eating a lot of protein, we're eating a lot of fat, aren't we? And that is not going to be stored as glycogen.
Mm.
So, yeah, it's a difficult one, isn't it?
Mm. Okay, from April Pacha. Have you seen people get off ADHD and autism drugs the longer they are carnivore? Brother-in-law just had a stroke last year, started on meds for ADHD, autism at 70, has been keto since 4 months before the stroke. I've
Yes.
anecdotally I've had people tell me they've got off the meds.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, and definitely seen that as well. There's a lot of pushback from mainstream medicine about this because it's doing them out of money. But and I did do rehab with a stroke victim who was a jiu-jitsu sort of instructor and then had a stroke and was wheelchair bound, and he's back now instructing. So you can see remarkable differences in people's lives, eating the right way, and also some movement rehab on that particular situation. But yeah, there is anecdotal evidence, definitely. But there is a lot of individual variability, which is what I was trying to say with the glycogen question as well. Again, it's a tough one. So they're very interesting questions this week, but they are very much nuanced into individual situations, I think. So you'll definitely be on the right path, because if you're lowering systemic inflammation and you're keeping your blood sugar low, so there's no excursion, so it's nice and stable, and you can run, as I said earlier, you can run on a lower blood sugar, which many people might think is hypoglycemic. But if your ketones are higher and your energy levels are good and your sleep is good, then that's great. And again, just going back to the glycogen, what is glycogen there for? It's to keep you nice and stable for your blood sugar. Well, you might need more glycogen if you're not eating a way that's keeping your blood sugar stable anyway. So with this one, I think there was going to be some meds. So what are the meds? And that's another thing to consider. I feel that there's so many things. It could be things in the bread. There could be intestinal permeability causing problems. So what you're eating isn't being absorbed enough. The autism thing is obviously another thing that we need to know a bit more about. But yes, I've seen people get off ADHD and autism drugs eating this way, but I think you can't just extrapolate that to another person, because they had a lot of support, from myself, and they weren't on other medications. So,
and just on this, Aid is just commenting. Note, I've been diagnosed with ADHD, ASD, both, and since going strict carnivore, it has really helped smooth out the bumps. I can attest to carnivore improving it.
And that's
nice.
the phrase, isn't it? Smoothing out the bumps. I think blood glucose excursions and troughs, insulin going up and down constantly from a carbohydrate diet, whereas you've got slow release energy coming from fats and structure being built by proteins. To me, that seems a more passive, easier environment to deal with other things like the building of neurotransmitters and keeping the noise down in the brain. So yeah, that's good to hear.
Okay, and some more comments from Dean. Dave, I'm leaving in 2 months. You want to meet up? Oh yes. Are you going back to New Zealand? Oh, okay. Yes, let's arrange something. That'd be cool. Let's catch up for some yakiniku or something. And from Big Eye, konbanwa. Thanks for joining us. Okay.
What does that say? What does that say then?
Konbanwa.
What does that
Good
mean?
evening. Good evening.
Oh, right. Okay. So you can read Japanese?
Some. Badly.
Yeah.
I could, like, hiragana, like, that is easy because that's a phonetic. There's 3 writings, 4 if you include the English one. Katakana and hiragana are like phonetic, like, like you were writing English, so it's easy. But it's when you get to the Chinese characters, that's where it's difficult.
Okay.
And you have one Chinese character that's pronounced, 100 billion different ways, and it really messes you up.
Oh,
So,
right.
yeah.
Konnichiwa, is that what is that
Yeah,
Japanese?
that's good morning.
Yeah, and isn't that only used when you're
Sorry,
on the
good
phone?
afternoon.
And when you're on the phone, is it mushy mushy or something?
Yeah, moshi moshi.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's only used on the phone. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't heard it used anywhere else. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unless someone's pointing at an insect and they're saying, "Oh, mushy, mushy," because mushy is insect as well.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Strange, isn't
Yeah.
it? That you use it as a greeting and it's also an insect.
I think there's a slight vowel difference in there, but yeah, it's one of those things that's good to kind of joke about. Oh, okay. So Dean's going back for his son's schooling for 5 years. Oh, okay. Yeah, let's definitely catch up.
Mm.
Yeah. The Osaka carnivore community is very small, so, you gotta take the meetups when they come. Yeah. Okay, we haven't, there's no more questions there at the moment. If you've got any
That's okay.
questions or anything you'd like us to discuss, please, pop it in the chat. So Coach Stephen, we were talking about how, like, every day we're kind of, we're focused on something to do with carnivore, whether it's videos or your coaching or something like that. What have you got, what have you got on over the weekend?
Right. I'll tell you, actually, I couldn't tell you off the top of my head. I am finishing a Substack. I've got it right ready to go, which is all about ketosis, and the other one about the bird feeding. So a little bit of research. So what is it, Friday today? I have got, hang on a minute, bear with me. I have got a couple of consults to do and a rehab client to do, like a personal training movement rehab, setting up live streams for tomorrow. And then Saturday, I've got Liz. I think we're going to do a live stream, which is the black box warning girl, who is, many people said I should get on because they've seen her with you and she's very funny and very knowledgeable. So I think that's really good. And then Sunday, thank you for asking, I have, I have a consultation. And then at 5 p.m. in UK, I'm doing a live stream with Lee Copus. And then I'm in my own group at 6 o'clock. I might do a live stream itself. Oh, yeah, well, I'm doing an experiment because the live stream I've been doing since May 2020 at 7 p.m. Many people are saying, well, there's so many people doing it at that time. Even though I think I was the first person there, I'm quite happy to try a different time. And to be honest, I don't mind doing that because if we do a different time, so Lee, like you say, somebody's just said Kent Carnivore is excellent. If we do like 5 o'clock or 7 o'clock, it doesn't seem to matter that much because so many people watch it afterwards. So we did our live. I don't know how many we've got on now. Maybe it's, I don't know, 130 people watching live.
Yeah, 130, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'll get at least 2,000-3,000 views over the next 24 hours. So I don't think the actual being live at that time is that important. Obviously, I don't want to upset anybody because if they've been listening for 5 years at 7, the equivalent of, 7 o'clock, wherever they are, 7 o'clock p.m. UK time. But you can't please everybody. And I think also I didn't like the going against the circadian rhythms. I'm beginning to feel like I shouldn't be on the screen at 9 o'clock at night, finishing up, because it seems to go against everything I'm coaching. It does seem to be that sort of thing. So, Sunday's quite a busy day. So a 6 in my group, then 7 o'clock. And then I think with the 7 o'clock people, I might actually just say, I don't want to leave you in the lurch, but we're going to be doing it from 5. But of course, you can always catch up later. So,
we just got a super chat come through from Jonathan. CK was 1,003 from my bangs, no increase since. Do you know what that means, Coach?
I don't know. They're doing they're doing a brain, heart, kidney scan soonish. Any thoughts or suggestions? I don't know what he means by bangs as such, actually. Let me just read that again. Sorry. I think it's in the context of some other things. So the CK is the creatine kinase. From my bangs, from my bangs. Oh, right. Okay. What's he talking about? Probably his muscle development, I would imagine. I don't know. Yeah. So it's, I mean, that is elevated. No increase in. So then his next question says something like, they're doing a brain, heart, kidney scan soonish. Any thoughts or suggestions? Well, I mean, if they're doing that because of the CK level being elevated, I mean, yes, intense exercise is going to increase it, Jonathan, as you know. Yeah, I think because I'm not up with the terminology, it's probably down to muscle growth that he's talking about, or the fact that you haven't had a huge increase, but the CK's gone up. Well, we could talk off camera, Jonathan, via WhatsApp if you like, because I don't want to guess too much. But yes, I mean, that's an elevated level of creatine kinase. And it is, yes. So, it's an enzyme in your heart and brain and all that sort of stuff, and skeletal muscle and other tissue. So it is a reading. It's about 5 times. I'm doing mental maths. It's about 5 times more than it should be, really. But
okay.
I don't like that phrase that it should be, because it's contextual, isn't it? It's like, well, considering he's a monster, he's a beast. Maybe that's where it should be. Don't you think? So, yeah.
Is that Elvira? Thank you very much for the super sticker. Oh, the super chat, the super sticker. Yeah, super sticker.
Super chat.
Okay. Legacy Communications. I'm a night shift worker. Any advice, please? I don't get morning sun, but do try to get sun when I get up. OMAD as I get up at 1 p.m. each day and don't feel like eating till about 3 p.m. Then work at 7 p.m. Wow.
Night shifting is a nightmare, isn't it? Absolutely. So the advice is, I'm assuming, on the back of vitamin D. Any advice, please? I don't get morning sun, so I'm assuming about the sunlight. Well, firstly, if you're doing a night shift, you've probably got quite a consistent schedule. I'm just looking at that, because most people, they have a regular thing, so that's quite good. I would just grab as much natural light as you can. Obviously, you're sleeping during the day, which is a problem. If you don't want to eat until 3 p.m., which is when most people do feel like eating, that's quite interesting as well. Just make sure that it is nutritious before you go off at 7 p.m. Hydration would be really key as well, because you're not getting the melatonin. I mean, it is science. All of this stuff is backed by science. So when light enters your eye, it hits the rods and the cones and the optic nerve. When it's light, natural light in particular, but also non-native blue light, it will send an inhibitory signal along the optic nerve, and then that will go down the grey lateral horn in your spine off to the superior ganglion that then sends norepinephrine up to the pineal gland, and it tells the brain basically to stop making melatonin because it's light. So it is science, all right? So we're not talking about anything sort of woo-woo. So you're not getting that, and also when it's dark, you're not getting it because you're working. So when it's dark outside, where we would get the signal if we weren't night shift workers, loads of melatonin needs to be produced because the optic nerve this time will send a excitatory signal to make sure that melatonin is produced. It's the same system, by the way, but just, excitatory, telling us that we need to sleep. So yours are just literally flipped 180 degrees. So you do need to get some natural light. So just grab as much natural light as possible. Make sure that you eat enough to see you through. Get your hydration where it should be. So you're hydrating for nighttime as if it was daytime activity. So therefore, when you do sleep, you want to make sure that your nutrition and your hydration status doesn't make you wake during the day. So just basically try to time it so you're not getting up during your daytime sleep. Napping, by the way, which many people feel is a sign of weakness, certainly if you're night shifting, no problem with having a nap if you need a nap. Not at work if you're a security guard. But do as much as you can to mitigate the problems of this. Is your phone going, Dave, by the way?
Yes.
Yeah, all right. To mitigate the problems of the light exposure. So yeah, don't worry too much about the fact you're eating at 3. I think if that's when your body is saying you're hungry, you get up at 1, 2 hours later, you're going to eat. Yeah, it's good. That sounds really good to me. Get some natural light into you if you can.
Yeah. Okay. So from Mr. Beaumont, if the Randle cycle contraindicates consumption of fat and carbs at the same time, is this not an argument for skimmed instead of full fat milk? But then you get all the other crap in the skimmed milk, right?
Well, if you go to the nub of what Mr. Beaumont is saying, what is the Randle cycle? Well, the Randle cycle is the management of substrate and what the body doesn't decide what the substrate availability is, and therefore how it's going to be partitioned. That's probably a better way. And we often talk about the cross inhibition of fats or carbohydrates, but it's not a switch. It's not like, oh, now it's all carbs, now it's all fats. It's more sort of like a mixer, like a DJ would have a mixing desk. Oh, we've got plenty of fats, we're going to use that. And there is a certain level of inertia. And it only comes into play really when the substrate or the supply of nutrients has reached the optimal level. And that's when anything else from the outside coming in is stopped, which many people call wrongly insulin resistance. Whereas I'm actually trying to write a thing about this where it's more cell protection or nutrition management. So to get to your answer, is this an argument for skim milk instead of full fat milk? I know what you're saying, because milk is one of those few foods which has protein, fats, and carbs. So I would say if the rest of your nutrition is bountiful, you might be pushing the Randle cycle with full fat milk. You may be, but I don't think it's an argument for skim milk, not at all. I understand where you're going with the question, but I just think if you're looking at your nutrition overall, you might be able to include full fat milk, but you are also introducing carbs with milk, aren't you? That's the problem with the lactose. So I think the very vehicle you're picking is bad, full stop, because you will be having fats and protein from meat. And then if you're having skim milk, you're adding carbs anyway. So I think it's a sort of very nuanced question. We're having a lot of nuanced questions today, which I quite like because it's making me think. But it's interesting. It's a nice question. I think if you're consuming pints and pints of it, then I would say you've got something in your theory there. But I would actually say if you're eliciting the Randle cycle, you're probably oversupplying your body with nutrients in the first place anyway. So something's got to give. So adding milk to it, whether it's skimmed or full fat, is going to be a problem. I'm not a fan of dairy anyway.
So I apologize, but I'm getting a million phone calls. So we're going to have to call the live stream now. Thank you very much to everyone for joining us. And we'll be back with you next week. Really appreciate you coming in and your super chats and your questions. And yeah, thank you very much.
Yes, it does. Yeah, thank you very much. It was a little bit, I was worried about you, Dave, to be honest. So if I've been a little bit pausey and stoppy, it's because I was worried about the fact you're getting millions of phone calls. So yeah, thank you for tuning in, everyone.
Cheers, guys.